Hello, brothers and sisters. I just wanted to uh, make a little video here before we come to our second discipleship seminar. Actually, it's I guess, a workshop. I wanted to share just a few things of what's been going on and why we're doing the certain things we're doing. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we will go into some of that. So we're talking today, I want to just share a little bit about Thriving Discipleship Workshop goals. The goal, the whole goal, is to help Christ be formed in you and me. The idea is to try to let us become more like Christ. That's what Christian means, little Christ. And a key element, or maybe the key element in thriving discipleship, is develop Christ's heart and emotions and character in us. So that is the goal. We become like Christ, not just to have his doctrine, but our whole being becomes like Christ. I don't think there's any action. I want you to think about this. I don't think there's any action without emotions or feelings behind it. And if those feelings can be oriented to be godly, and godly actions will therefore result. So we want to work on the emotions and feelings. This is key. So that's why we've been focusing on emotions in our FLAN and our check-in groups. It's part of the holistic formation of Christ's character in us. Many times, this has been left out in discipling people. It has become at times more having them do things or perform. And this is what we want. We want to get down to the heart. Britannica Dictionary definition of a character is this: the way someone thinks, feels, and behaves. And so there you've got the mind, the heart, and the actions of the body. Discipling of our emotions, I think, is key to developing Christ's character in all three of these levels. And of course, we must strive to let Christ develop this in us. This is what God says. And this is what Paul says in Galatians 4:19. My dear children, for whom I again am in pains of childbirth until Christ is formed in you. Notice it's not just Christian formation. It's not just character formation. It's Christ formed in you, such that his being is what comes out of us. It's more than just our own character, but it's Christ living in us, where that becomes our nature. So what have we been developing? What's been being developed in us through FLAN that we've been working with these last couple months? First of all, feelings. When you know what your feelings are, you're able to express them, and that helps you to work through them. And you get help from other people to help you work through and get those in obedience to Christ. And that will affect our actions toward one another. We'll be able to love each other more. So that's what we've begun to do. Listening brings joy and comfort, encouragement, and connection to other people, as well as the person who's being listened to. It's a two-way street. Attuning helps the other person know that someone cares and understands. They're just not alone out there with their feelings and what's happening to them. Needs, asking about needs shows that you care. And this is developing in us a way to follow Jesus and to be who he is, to let it be Christ in us. So I'm encouraged, even if you've only done the FLAN one time and only checked in one time, you're becoming more like Christ. I want to encourage you to continue to work on these things. Our second workshop will add a few things to this, but I want, and more to the character and heart that we need to have for Jesus. But I want you to continue to work on FLAN, as it is key, I think, to so many things in our lives. What's happening is you're beginning to fulfill the song, would you be poured out like wine? Let's look at that just briefly. I'll try to share that as well. You remember this song says, would you be poured out like wine? Would you be poured out like wine upon the altar for me? That's Jesus. Would you be broken like bread to feed the hungry? Would you be so one with me that I may do just as I will? Would you be light and life and love, my word fulfill? This is letting Christ be formed in you. Then the answer, which you've begun to answer by going through some of these skill training things in our workshops. Yes, I'll be poured out like wine upon the altar for you. Yes, I'll be broken like bread to feed the hungry. I'm going to work with my emotions. I'm going to get them according to what Jesus wants so I can feel for people. I can help people. Yes, I'll be so one with you that you may do just as you will. Yes, I'll be light and life and love, your word fulfill. It's so important because this is where the rubber hits the road, where Christ is formed in you. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next workshop.